Hello readers, it's Sasha, and today I am ringing in the new year in my onesie by doing a December wrap-up. This month was an incredible reading month for me. I had so many good books. I ended up reading 11 books and DNFing one, so that's not too bad. Of the books I read to completion, I only had one book that was below 3.5. So that is really cool and really exciting, and I'm ready to talk about the books that I read and the one that I DNF'd because I feel like I want to rant about it. So we're gonna have it in here as well. So the first book that I finished in December, because I had started this mid-November, was Deity by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the third book, but fourth installment in the Covenant series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I don't remember fully what even happened in this third book, and even if I did, I wouldn't say it because that would spoil like everything in the first two books and novella prior to this, but I do remember that I gave it 5 stars, so that's cool. I loved this book and the series so much when I read it the first time. I just had feelings and emotions that were so powerful, and I feel like I had them this time as well, maybe differently and different emotions because I'm older and my life has changed, but I still had very strong and very happy emotions reading this, and I love this series. Like, it might be trash, but like, so am I, so it's fine. So the next book that I ended up reading in the month of December, I don't actually have a physical copy of with me because my mom has it and I think my aunt is reading it now, but it is The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. This book was the Winers Book Club choice for the month of December, and it was hosted on my channel literally last night, but like right now when I'm filming this, it was last night. So I will link that live show down in the description below. We had literally every rating that you could have for this book, minus like half stars. Like, we had somebody who DNF'd it, we had somebody who gave it 1 star, we had somebody who was in between 2 to 3 stars, and we had somebody who gave it 4 stars, and then we had me who gave it 5 stars because I am la trash. It is who I am. It's in my DNA. So if you don't know what this is about, it does follow this girl named Holly Chase, who is a really bad person, and she is visited by the 3 ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, and she is told that she needs to change her ways or else she's going to die. And she's like, this is literally the stupidest thing you've ever said to me. No. And then she doesn't change her ways, and then she dies, and then she's like, whoa. Trippy. When she wakes up again, she is in this office and she's like, hello? And somebody is like, yes, now you are working for Project Scrooge, the organization that visited you a few days ago. And now you are the ghost of Christmas past. I really enjoyed the writing style of this book. I don't know, it was quite mature, but I enjoyed it and I felt like it worked for the story. I also, like, spoiler alert, I liked the characters. Not a lot of people did. I liked Holly Chase. She was a bitch. She was a bad person. Like, yes, she was. But she was, like, I think 16 and going through things. So it was like, obviously she was going to be a bad person. She had to deal with this trauma in her life. She was raised in a spoiled, rich family and loses the one piece of happiness and hope and tether to the real world that she had. So she just turned into a giant bitch, and I don't blame her. I also would have been like that if I had lost like the one glimmer of hope and the one glimmer of reality that I had. I would have also felt like shit and wanted to take it out on everybody. So I liked her, and I liked her throughout the whole story. Like, yes, she was a bad person, and that's blatantly obvious throughout the book, but I like how the author chose to do it. And overall, this book just put me into a very Christmassy, very excited for the holiday season vibe. And I'm very glad I read it at the beginning of December because I feel like if I hadn't, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. It just put me into such a holiday vibe and I loved it. The next book that I ended up reading in the month of December was To Be Honest by Maggie Ann Martin. And this book is about a girl, what is your name? Because I don't remember. This is about Savannah. Okay. This is about a girl named Savannah who is now being forced to be at home alone with her mother, who has found a new love of fitness and dieting and appearance. And if you can guess anything by the cover, she's not a size 2. She is a plus size girl. She's got curves. She's got that booty. So her sister goes off to college and she's stuck at home with her mom, and it kind of goes through her journey of living with somebody who's so focused on appearance and so focused on weight when you are not as focused on that. So it goes through that, and it goes through her going into her first relationship and figuring out how she is going to manipulate a relationship in a very, very negative society as a plus size person. It's hard. Like, it's hard going into a relationship with a non-plus size person when you are plus size, especially when you are in high school. Like, it's difficult. The world looks differently at you. So that is also what this is about. I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was perfect for me at the time, and it also would have been perfect for me as a teenager as well. Like, I feel like I could have gained a lot from this, but I had never read a book with a fat main character until my Educate Yourself reading vlog that I did. I literally had never read a plus size main character. Why? I don't know, but I tried to avoid it because I was like, I use books as an escape. I don't want to be fat in a book and fat in real life. Like, that's not fun. But I realized that I needed to start reading more books where I feel seen and where I feel represented in a positive way, and this did that. Also, this book does have some sapphic representation, as Savannah's sister, what is her name? Somebody's name is Grace somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so the sister who's in college is I don't believe it is defined, but she's definitely into girls. So that was nice to have some sapphic representation within this book. It was also a nice surprise because I did not know that going into this. I also really enjoyed the representation of weight in this story, and not just in like the plus size realm, but also how they represented dieting and how it can lead into disorders. I thought it was really powerful. So there are definitely trigger warnings for eating disorders within this book because that is a part that it focuses on, but it focuses on an eating disorder that kind of gets swept under the rug in society because people value appearances over health. Like, it is what it is. So that is what happened here. So I really liked that. And lastly, I really, really loved the friendship. Like, I thought the friendship was fantastic. Like, these girls were the best of best friends, and not once was weight mentioned. Not once did I feel like the friend was judging her for being overweight. I loved it so much. So that was great. The reason it's not 5 stars is because I didn't love Savannah, at some points in the story. I just thought she was very unlikable and very like stop talking kind of person. And I also wrote down that I didn't like a plot point in this book. I understood why it was necessary, but I overall just thought it was stupid. But I don't remember. Oh my god, I do remember what it was. So yeah, there was one part of the story that I feel like just disconnected with the rest of the story. And when we got into those parts of the novel, I was just kind of like, wait, what? Like, I don't understand. So yeah, that is that. Next, I read Little Monsters by Cara Thomas, and this is a book about a girl who moves in with her father, who she barely knows, and his family. And she is living in this small town, and everything is great until one night one of her friends doesn't make it home from a party. And so now the town is looking at her because nothing like this had ever happened. And then she moved here, and then boom, things happened. So that is what this is about. I loved this. I gave this 5 stars. I am such a hoe for mysteries. I am literally a young adult mystery. I know there's the depth of a fucking shallow end tide pool at a river, but I'm here for it at the same time. I feel things when I read mysteries. I'm just so engaged because I don't pick up on things very easily when I'm reading. I can't guess plot points that easily. I can't guess plot twists that easily, but I just love it. So I really enjoyed the writing. I liked the mystery element. I liked the characters. I almost didn't rate this 5 stars because I thought I had guessed the plot twist at the end, but I didn't, and I was left feeling things. So if you feel like you want to feel things, read this. Next comes the book that I DNF'd. I'm not a fan of this book. I feel like it was trash. That is Saving Francesca by Melina Marchetta. This was published in 2003, so part of me understands why I didn't like it. I did not know that it was published in 2003, and also, what is this cover? Who is this emo girl on the cover? No. But also the book. So this book follows a girl who has a mother who suffers with depression, and she's trying to go through her life and balance dealing with school and pretending everything's fine, but then coming home and having to pick up the pieces of her family at home. And I thought that premise sounded really good because whenever we hear about any sort of mental health rep, it's usually the main character or somebody in that age range, but this is the mother. So I feel like a lot of us who have parents with a mental illness could really relate to this book. However, this book was not good. I didn't like the story. I liked the writing at first. I thought the writing was pretty good at first, and I was like, okay, this is going to engage me. And then it started reading more 2003, and I realized that I just didn't like it anymore. Every boy in this story read like they were 11 years old, even when they were supposed to be 16 to 18. They were not at all smart, intelligent, good looking. They all just really enjoyed farting. That was the joke of the story, and that was not fun. And then the minute that I decided to DNF, one of the boys uses the R word, and that is just a hard no for me. I don't like it. I don't like it. And so I didn't want to read any further when this was the type of book I had no, it was just stupid. So 0. The next book that I read was a book that shook me again, and that was Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. So this book had me feeling things. It is essentially about this couple who looks really perfect on the outside. Like, they have a beautiful home, they've traveled a bunch of places, they are just like so cute together, but there are things that don't really add up in their relationship. Like, for example, she always cooks these elaborate meals and has all of these desserts and like french fries and all this stuff, but she never gains weight. She has a super slim figure. Why are there bedrooms with bars on them? Why can Grace, this is Grace, thank you, I knew somebody was named Grace. Why could Grace never go out to lunch with her friends alone? Like, they started adding up, and things were like not the way that they needed to be. I loved this. I literally just like, it was told in past and present. So it was like past when Grace started realizing that Jack was a really bad guy, and then present where Jack is still a really bad guy, but now we're getting to the conclusion of that. So literally, what the hell happened? I don't know. Things happened. So oh my god. The way that Jack is depicted in this is terrifying. Like, I was literally scared. I was like, there are people that are like this. That is terrifying. It was a lot. There were a few reasons why I didn't rate this book 5 stars. So the first reason was Jack himself. I feel like as a villain character, he was at times unrealistic because he was so smart and he was so ahead of the game and so on top of everything. And I just don't like characters where you can't see their flaws. And like, obviously Jack had several flaws because he was like an abuser, but I don't like when you can't see flaws in their plans ever. Like, everything that they ever do is calculated to make up for what this other person's doing. Like, I think that's really boring. I don't like that. There was animal abuse, and that is something that I don't like at all. I hate it so much. It pissed me off, and it pissed me off even further knowing how that the animal was abused. So if you don't want to hear about a puppy dying, because I'm not gonna say like that is what it is, like, yeah, then don't go into this book. And also, this is a very petty one, but I just really don't like the phrase making love, and they used it so often in this book, and it just bothered me immensely. Like, I just hate the phrase making love. It's disgusting. Like, I just don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfy. So yes, the next book that I ended up reading in the month of December was Wait for Me by Caroline Leach. This book is about a girl who lives and works on a farm in Scotland with her dad and her farmhand, and her 2 older brothers are fighting in World War II. So one day, a truck pulls up, and there is a German prisoner of war who is dropped off and told that he is going to be working on the camp with them during the days. And she's literally like, why? Like, get this German away from me. We're literally fighting them in a war right now. Like, what is going on? But then it starts to dive more into the psychology of why we can't always judge a book by its cover kind of situation. I know that sounds bad because, like, when you think of German and soldiers in World War II, you automatically think negativity and you automatically think, no, like, die. But I don't know. I just really like this book. There were some obvious flaws and obvious problems with this book. Like, obviously, I feel like she didn't really care all that much for that long that he was a German prisoner of war. But at the same time, they had such a cute relationship. I was such a sucker for cute. Like, I love cute, and that's what they had. And yes. I was so prepared for this book to be about stimping for a German soldier. And it just, like, wasn't. I mean, it kind of was, but I kind of liked it. I don't know. Just, like, he was cool. Don't take this in a way where you're just like, bitch, really? Like, actually listen to me. He was a nice guy. I don't know what I'm doing. So I really like this. I don't know if I said it, but I gave it 5 stars. I feel like that was obvious. I am sorry that I am the messiest human being who has ever lived. So the next book that I ended up reading was Goodbye Perfect by Sarah Bernard. This is about a girl who runs away with her band teacher, and her best friend is literally like, what the hell are you doing? And trying to understand and help find her, but also like help keep her safe and also like help her. So there's a lot. I also gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. I know half stars are like kind of pointless, but like, it's just how I want to rate my things, so it's fine. I really ended up liking this book. I didn't think I would, but I feel like it was good. Like, it was really good. I really liked the way that it explored the power dynamic between an adult and a teenager, and it explores the process of grooming and how that happens and how that works, and it really takes a different type of message to a whole other level, but like where a teenager can read it and be like, okay, so that's why I shouldn't run away with my teacher. Like, I feel like me reading this now, I'm like, obviously you should not do that. But I feel like as a teenager, when you have a crush on somebody and like somebody makes you feel important, regardless of the age, you're gonna feel indebted and want to be with that person. And so I feel like any teenager reading this could be like, okay, well, that's why I shouldn't do that, because it dives into the psychology of like why someone would want to, but also why someone shouldn't. And I think that was important. I really liked that. I didn't end up rating this novel 5 stars. One reason is because of the switching that this novel did. It switched so much between past and present, and it got to the point where it switched halfway through chapters and I would be like, where am I? Like, what is going on? What is happening? I am so confused. So that always really trips me up when I'm reading a book. Like, just stay at least for a chapter in the time that you're supposed to be. Like, don't switch back and forth in the chapters. Like, if you want to do chapter on, chapter off, cool, but don't switch in between chapters, because my brain was literally like, what is happening? I don't know. And unfortunately, I also didn't really like Eden, who is the main character, aka the best friend, trying to help her friend and save her and do all these things. As a character, she started pissing me off because she had been through a lot in her life and she was pushing away everybody trying to help her and trying to better help her understand the situation. And I understand why she did it, because when you feel this loyalty to somebody, it's hard to do anything to break it. But like, at the same time, she just got on my nerves. Like, the way that she would push people away and the way that she would interact with people, like, bitch, chill. Like, they're literally just trying to help you. Like, stop. And also, the mom in this book, she was so cute. I loved her so much. She was literally the kindest human being. She didn't yell. She was always like, listen, like, this is why you shouldn't have done this. And I love parents who like talk to their kids like they're human beings and don't just scream to scream. Like, that just doesn't vibe with me. So I really liked that as well. And I think that's another reason I rated it so high. The next book I read is All Is Fair by D. Garrettson. I liked it, but at the same time, like, what was going on? I don't know. What was this about? I don't know. This is supposed to be about a girl who is in a prep school and like training to be like a proper lady in London, and then not even in London, in like some weird like countryside, and then she gets a telegram to go home to her childhood house, and she meets a childhood friend and an American soldier, and this is all supposed to take place in World War I, and they're supposed to go on this mission together. But I didn't realize how mission heavy this was actually going to be, and I thought it was going to be more romance heavy, and I just didn't appreciate it. I was really upset. I at first was really vibing with this. I got really heavy A Great and Terrible Beauty vibes by Libba Bray, which was a trilogy that I really loved when I read it. So I was like, okay, this vibe is just where we want to be. But then it just stopped. It stopped being that. I don't know what it was about the writing in this book, but it just continuously frustrated me. And I could not vibe with it. After about 25%, I was just like, what are you doing? What are you writing? I don't know what's going on. Who, what, where, why? I don't know. So didn't love that. And then Mina, who is the main character and the love interest, who I was like really looking forward to, because at first I was like, oh, he's gonna be a fun character. Their relationship was so hot and cold. Like, it was literally like the Katy Perry song to a T. Like, it's hot and it's cold, it's yes and it's no, it's in and out and up and down. It's just like, make up your mind. Thank you. This book was also less than 300 pages and it was very rushed. Like, the ending, I was literally sitting there and I was like, what just happened? Like, I don't understand the ending. I still don't understand the ending. I don't even really remember what happened in the ending because I didn't understand it, so why would I keep it in my head? I don't know. So I was literally just like, what happened? Why is this book, first of all, why is it so like code heavy and spy heavy? Like, I didn't realize it was going to be that. So that made me sad. But then I was like, why did it end like this? I have no idea what's going on. So things just like didn't happen how I wanted it to, and I didn't like it as much as I wanted to. It's still a 3-star. Like, I still did enjoy parts of it, but overall, would I ever read it again? No. Next, I've read 3 books now that are going to be in a vlog that you will see shortly. So I'm not going to say what is going on and like how I really felt about these books. But the first book is Before I Fall by Abigail Johnson, which is about a girl whose older brother confessed to killing this other guy's older brother. They were like best friends. And then she and this like younger brother of the killed person start hanging out and becoming friends because they need someone to talk to kind of like help them deal with what's been going on in their respective families. And I really liked it. What did I give it? Yes, it was 4.5. I gave it 4.5 stars. I go more into depth in why I give it 4.5 stars in the vlog, so I'm not going to go super in depth now. Next, I ended up reading Nexus by A.L. Davro, and if you've seen my Goodreads choosing my January TBR, you might be like, bitch, this ain't January, why are you reading it? Well, listen, I added a few books to my January TBR and I wanted to lighten the load, so we started now. So this book is about a girl who lives in Evanescence, which is a society, a domed city after a post-bionuclear war America. yeah, she just lives there. You're expected to be perfect. And then she gets into an accident and she's no longer perfect. And she takes solace and finds comfort in her father's virtual reality game that he created. And she meets this guy there, and this guy gives her this hope and gives her all that she needs. Well, not all that she needs, because no man will ever, but it gives her things that she needs for going forward and being present. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I love this book. I gave it, what did I give it? You know how much I'm gonna laugh? It was 4.5 out of 5 stars. Okay, no, it was 4 stars. I gave this 4 stars and I really enjoyed this. I thought it was great. The writing really stuck with me. The premise, although virtual reality isn't my thing, I really ended up enjoying this. And I thought it was a little bit darker and a little bit heavier than I was expecting, which also made me like it more, which might show something about me, but it's okay. And yeah, I'm not gonna go again in depth because I have a whole vlog coming up where I talk more about my thoughts. So yes. The final book that I read, the book that I literally finished like 2 hours ago, is You Don't Know My Name by Kristen Orlando. And this is about a spy who is living a life of a spy. And she is just not feeling it anymore. And then she ends up relocating for like the 8th time and meets this boy and a bunch of friends that she really likes. And she's like, I really don't want to leave. I don't know if I want to be a Black Angel, which is the spy group that her family works for, anymore. So things happen, shit hits the fan. And essentially this was a 4.5 out of 5 star read. Who was surprised? Not me. So I should have wanted to give this 5 stars, and I did toward the end, but then I was like, I remembered what happened at the beginning and I was just like, we can't excuse that behavior. So first and foremost, the only reason I gave this a 4.5 instead of a 5 is because obviously Kristen Orlando is trying to talk like a teenager when she is an adult. I think we all know what I mean when I say that, but it's specifically obvious here because she, first of all, they speak in chat speak, which is essentially just like saying TTYL and BRB, and I forget, they made up their own acronyms sometimes, and I was like, what are you saying? Like, what where? So that was no fun. They also talked about a hymen too much. Like, they talked about the hymen as if that was like something that as teenage girls we talk about to our friends. Like, no, that literally doesn't happen. Like, none of my friends ever in their lives when they lost their virginities were like, my hymen's broken. Like, no one fucking says that. That's so stupid. And so like that didn't happen in this, but the way, that's like the vibe. That's like the vibe. So I didn't like that. But I'm not, again, going to go into depth because vlog, so it's fine. If you're wondering why this is the energy that I am giving off today, it is because I'm tired. I have watched like 6 Christmas movies today. I don't know where my brain is, but it is not here with me. I am tired. Did I mention that? Probably. I got enough sleep for me to manage, but like almost half of what I normally get. So I'm just like in a place. So that is why you have this version of me, which is a time and a half for you, I bet. So thank you for tuning into this video. That is all I have for you today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I do post twice a week for more content. That was in a different order, but it's fine. And if you want to talk to me in the comments about your books that you read in December, or if you liked or didn't like any of the books that I read, let's talk. I love conversation, but not conflict, so don't come at me. And until next time, bye, readers!